House Bill 497, an act relating to persons convicted of crimes. Representative Moser.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Kenton 64 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Kenton 64 for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm actually very excited to talk about House Bill 497 this morning. It is a very important bill on reentry and assisting individuals who are reintegrating society from incarceration. We do have a committee sub. If you could please have the clerk report House Committee Sub 1.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 497.
Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Committee Sub just tightens up the information about obtaining IDs upon release. It narrows the liability for employers as per the Kentucky trial attorneys, and it adds a reporting mechanism. Move adoption.
Motion made for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any debate or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We also have House Floor Amendment 1, which I would like the clerk to report.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 497.
Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The floor amendment is language from the Department of Corrections, with whom I've worked very closely on this legislation. It just specifies some of the content in the bill as it pertains to job training and just adds some clarifying language. I move adoption.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any debate or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Individuals who are incarcerated, we know, face many obstacles in reentering society. This bill addresses many of these issues and will assist in lifting barriers. Incarcerated individuals are husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, parents, and children. They are valued members of families. They are oftentimes people who have lived with trauma, substance use disorders, and for many reasons lack the skills that are necessary to function as productive members of society. This legislation seeks to encourage individuals to gain the skills and the education necessary to enter the workforce and to reintegrate into society successfully. It will help individuals get documents which are necessary to gain employment and to obtain an ID. It will increase individuals' confidence through job training and resume building. It incentivizes employers to give individuals opportunities and be that second chance employer by providing limited liability protections for the employer while ensuring that individuals can provide for themselves and their families, often becoming highly valued and loyal employees. This bill prioritizes Medicaid coverage for individuals in the last 30 days of incarceration for things like drug treatment and mental health care to allow for uninterrupted care upon release. This is especially helpful for individuals who have received medication for addiction treatment during incarceration or a referral for behavioral health therapy upon release. And it only becomes part of this bill if the Cabinet were to apply for an 1115 waiver allowing such care to be allowed during incarceration. It also eliminates a ban on SNAP benefits for felons, which can be especially helpful for single parents who must provide for dependent children. So how this works: the Department of Corrections will issue a certification of employability to individuals who have successfully completed certain jail or prison programming or have continued their education or have gained skills through a job training program as assessed by the Department of Corrections through job skills assessments. Department of Corrections will partner with the Transportation Department to issue IDs for which the individual is eligible. This certificate does not provide relief from registration as a sex offender, suspension, cancellation, or revocation of a driver's license or CDL. It does not provide relief from restriction in employment as a prosecutor or law enforcement officer. It does not provide relief from denial, ineligibility, or automatic suspension of a healthcare professional's license due to substance use disorders. Those are all handled differently. The certificate may be revoked if the individual commits another felony and there is an appeals process. There are provisions if the individual falsifies a certificate of employability, they shall be guilty of a Class B misdemeanor. The department, I'm just going to keep going. The department shall confirm the validity of the certificate. They need to notify prisoners of the option to obtain a certificate of employability. And we added a reporting mechanism so that we will know how many certificates are actually issued. This legislation is a necessary step in helping individuals to get back on their feet. We know that individuals cycle in and out of the criminal justice system, and this is a very important step in the right direction on reentering society. I will stop and ask to move passage of House Bill 497 as amended by House Committee Sub 1 and House Floor Amendment 1.